This is a heart-wrenching setback for a young woman. She is battling an extremely dangerous case of flesh-eating bacteria. Amy Copeland's father revealed today that the 24-year-old graduate student is going to lose both her hands and remaining foot. Elizabeth Cohen is here to explain what is happening to this young woman, because a lot of people look at this and just go, God, not more suffering. What is happening to her?
You know, it's interesting because the way the father frames it is that this was actually a relatively easy decision because he wants to save his daughter. He will do whatever it takes to save his daughter. And if doctors say that she's got a better chance of living without those hands and without that foot, that's what they have to do. Now, she is still in critical condition. She is still very sick. A piece of good news is that she got her breathing tube removed. And a breathing tube goes, down the throat, and it makes it very difficult to speak. She's going to have a tracheotomy instead. So it'll be much easier for her to speak. And she's very happy about that. Her father's very happy about that. I mean, the really great news here is that she is aware and awake and communicating. That's huge.
She is aware of what's happening to her. Does she realize that she's deteriorating in some ways?
Well, actually, in some ways, she's not deteriorating. I mean, her life was in danger at one point, and now she is much more with it, and they're much less worried about her life and more worried about these limbs. She is aware of what's happening to her. That's what her father tells us. So, for example, before they had the surgery, her parents brought her hands up in front of her face to make her understand that her hands were purple and that they would need to be amputated. And her father said that Amy said, "Let's do it." That it was very clear that she understood that it was necessary to save her life to remove these hands.
And she is in control over those kinds of decisions. She's able to weigh in and let them know.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. I mean, I think I think at this point she's probably being told, hey, this is what we need to do. But she understands what's going on. She gave her agreement. That's pretty amazing considering how much sicker she was not so long ago.
And how is her family holding up through all of this? Because this just seems so tragic. I know you say it's good news because she's going to be alive, but I mean, it just seems like piece by piece it's just so horrific.
You know, I think they are so relieved that she's alive. And her father wrote one of the most moving things on this Facebook page that I have ever read. And so I'm going to read it to you. It's long, but I'm going to read it to you in its entirety because it's so moving. He wrote, when they made the decision about having to do these amputations, he said, "A tear rolled down my face as I walked out of her room. I wasn't crying because Amy was going to lose her hands and her foot. I was crying because in all my 53 years of existence, I have never seen such a strong display of courage. Amy shed no tears. She never batted an eyelash. I was crying because I am a proud father of an incredibly courageous young lady."
Wow, that is so powerful.
He has been so amazing. I mean, to get your daughter through this and to also recognize that your daughter was very sick and needed help. I mean, what an empowered patient, what an amazing father.
And really a message of hope. I mean, when I first saw this story, I didn't see it that way at all. And that really turns it on its head. I mean, you really realize there is something that is good, inspiring out of this.
That is so true. And when we talk to her father, he doesn't sound beaten down. He sounds like, I am going to save my daughter and we are going to do whatever it takes.
All right. Well, we wish them the very best.
We do.
All right.